How are you, Gina?
Namaste. Fine, thank you.
Beautiful.
네. Namaste, Shri Pretaji.
Yes, namaste.
I'm so grateful. 사랑하는 슈리 프레타지, 사랑하는 당신께서 이번 8월에 후아 코스로 다시 한국을 방문해 주심에 영광이고 큰 감사를 드립니다. 또한 오늘 저에게 슈리 프레타지와의 만남이라는 큰 선물을 주셔서 정말 감사드립니다. 저는 한국에서 예술가, 배우로 활동하고 있으며 에캄의 구도자인 지나 손입니다. 먼저 저는 2012년부터 에캄의 하나됨의 여정에 참여하여 받게 된 축복의 변화들을 감사히 나누고자 합니다. 과거 22년 동안 저는 본명이 아닌 예명으로 배우 활동을 하였습니다. 이유는 제가 싫고 제 삶이 싫어서였습니다. 다른 이름을 통해 다른 사람이 될 수 있다고 믿었습니다. 이런 고통 속에서 삶의 행복과 풍요를 구했습니다. 그러다 2012년부터 에캄과 여정을 함께하면서 저는 고통을 기반으로 구축된 제 삶이 새롭게 변형되는 것을 경험하고 있습니다. 지금 저의 의식 상태는 모든 생명에 대한 감사함을 느끼고 있습니다. 또 가슴에서 신성과 깊은 연결성을 느끼고 있습니다. 삶과 함께 저는 흐르고 있습니다. 제 상태가 아름답게 변형됨에 따라 저의 부모님도 변화되셨습니다. 부모님의 축복 속에 제 자신을 소중히 여기며 제 삶을 사랑하고 있습니다. 무엇보다 얼마 전 세계적으로 큰 성공을 거둔 넷플릭스 드라마 더 글로리란 작품에 출연해서 저는 배우로서 세상에 인정받는 큰 축복도 받았습니다. 이제 저는 현재 저의 부모님께서 저에게 사랑으로 주신 저의 본명 지나 손으로 공식적인 배우 활동을 하고 있습니다. 이 이름은 전 세계 사람들과 사랑이 넘치는 친구가 되라 입니다. 이제 제가 받은 축복에 대한 감사함을 세상에 나누고 저는 아름다운 지구의 모든 생명들이 사랑과 평화로 살아가는데 기여하는 삶을 살아가고자 합니다. 사랑하는 슈리 프레타지, 그리고 세계 평화를 위해 하나된 여정을 함께하는 모든 분들께 저의 진심을 다해서 존경과 감사를 드립니다. I love you so much. Thank you very much with all my heart. Together forever. Thank you.
It's so beautiful the way you shared, Gina. I'm very glad with your transformation and evolution. And not only that, your life, your experience, your transformation has become an inspiration to bring about a change in so many of them. There is people around you, people all over the world who are struggling with the same problems as you have been struggling. You should become an inspiration for them to live a very different life so that they can also emerge into being a conscious human being like you.
Yes. Thank you. I'm so happy with you.
It's so important that one is to change, one is to have a transformation, one is to experience that profound wisdom and journey that you have made within yourself, to recognize how important it is for one's life. That is the next step. And also to kind of inspire others towards this journey, because what is possible for you is also possible for the others. And to be a channel for this great wisdom reaching out to the world is also a great heart. So I should appreciate you for that.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
I'm very glad also to
사랑하는
be
슈리
with you.
프레타지. Okay. Thank you. 사랑하는 슈리 프레타지. 한국 사회와 한국 젊은이들이 경험하고 있는 문제점들에 대해서 질문을 드리겠습니다. 첫 번째 질문입니다. 지난 몇 년 동안 한국의 예술은 K-아트라고 불리며 큰 사랑을 받고 있습니다. 음악, 드라마, 영화, 예능 등이 전 세계적으로 성공을 이루고 전 세계에 큰 영향력을 주고 있습니다. 그러나 다른 한편으로는 K아트에 종사하고 있는 아티스트들이 약물 중독, 자살, 우울증, 마약 복용 등 불행에 처하는 안타까운 상황들이 있습니다. 아티스트들의 깨어남을 어떻게 도울 수 있을까요?
Korea, I've been to Korea. I'm sure you know that. So Korea is definitely a very vibrant nation, a very creative nation where art is a part of the Korean psyche itself. And as a nation, you're very contemporary. And that is why many nations are responding to the K-art. But if you have to bring attention to the crisis that is surrounding the lives of so many artists, just for you to know that art itself requires you to move out of ordinary thinking, an ordinary set of mind. Great art usually emerges from, say, the dark recesses of the unconscious mind, where so much of unhappiness, so much of unhappiness of childhood, or so much of loneliness and so much of unresolved emotions, and also the collective unrest. It is all stored in the unconscious. What artists usually do in order to go away from the ordinary normal walk of mind and the chore of mind, artists habitually get into these spaces for inspiration. So what does it mean? So unconsciously, those unhappy spaces of the unconscious mind which the artist access for greater inspiration, it becomes an emotional addiction over a period of time, and then that is when life itself goes out of control. This deep loneliness and disconnection that one experiences, feeling so separate from everybody else, feeling alienated from everybody else, we can say that loneliness and that disconnection is at the root cause of all addictions and depression. But this unconscious is not only the source of great art. You don't need to access this place for great art. Please know that the greatest of art emerges not when it is sourced in the ordinary mind state or not when it's sourced in the unconscious, but the greatest of art actually emerges when you rise into the transcendental states of oneness. The greatest art emerges in moments when your sense of separation from the other, from the fellow human being dissolves, and you experience a state of expansion, a state of inclusion. In moments when your sense of separation from the other dissolves and you feel one, it could be feeling one with nature, or feeling one with a bird, or feeling one with the trees, or feeling one with the fellow human beings or the sky, that is when an extraordinary art would emerge. It would emerge when you feel one with the universe, when you feel one with the greater intelligence of the universe. What is very essential is if young artists can resolve these unresolved sorrows that is stored in their unconscious, and when they experience liberation from that unresolved sorrow and rise into states of oneness, that is when a new generation of artists would emerge. And definitely we have a path to it, and you know about it, Gina.
감사합니다. 당신의 아름다운 가르침에 감사드리고 제가 그런 아티스트의 한 명으로서 그들을 도울 수 있도록 저도 최선을 다하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 두 번째 질문입니다. 한국 사람들이 지금 SNS 중독이 심한데요. SNS를 하면서 하는 사람과 대화도 단절되고 연결성도 떨어집니다. 심지어 가족적 집안에서 각자의 방에서 카톡으로 대화하는 경우가 많습니다. SNS를 통해서 서로 처음 만나고 SNS를 통해서만 사랑하는 사람도 많습니다. 한국인들이 어떻게 SNS 중독에서 벗어나 사람과의 사랑과 연결을 되찾을 수 있을까요?
The beauty of human life is best felt in moments of love, in moments of heartfelt connection. That is not understanding wise. Our body also is designed by nature for this great love, great river of love to course through us. But unfortunately, the stress with which the children are brought up today, and the pressure of the society, and the constant forces that make you feel that you have to be physically active or financially super wealthy, intellectually brilliant, that's a constant pressure. And this continuous and a constant comparison and measurement increase the emotional turmoil, emotional chaos, increase the mental noise, to such an extent that body go off balance away from this love. Body goes off balance away from this inner calm. It moves into loneliness and boredom. And unfortunately, as the social media is now feeding on loneliness and boredom, and since the phones are always at your you can grab it anytime. It is in your hands, and it has a capacity for gaining attention. It's kind of getting us more addicted to social media, and conversation and connection with human being is becoming less and less now. How to get out of this addiction? A conscious choice has to be made. A conscious choice has to be made to spend a few minutes every day with your loved ones, with total attention, with no fault, no finding, with loving understanding. I want you to know that you will make that conscious attention if you know how important this human interaction is for you. How important this human interaction is your body, for your mind, and for your consciousness. Your body moves into a space of longevity, anti-aging. Your mind is sharp, it is focused because of this human interaction. And in consciousness, while you're not separate and alienated, but you experience a greater joy and a greater purpose because you feel connected. Knowing this very clearly, every one of you have to make a conscious choice that at least a few minutes a day you need to and engage in a conversation with your friends, with your families. You should have a known time scheduled at home because it's going to do good for you. It is going to do good for your partner. It is going to do it's going to be working extremely good for your children, and it will help you break that habit. Please know, awareness is the enemy of habit. So you have to make a conscious choice, and you will make a conscious choice knowing that it is only when you live this way, at least for a couple minutes a day, if you make a conscious choice of living your life, your total attention without your phones, then you are nurturing your body, your mind, and your consciousness. Otherwise, you're destroying it.
감사합니다. 세 번째 질문입니다. 첫 취업 후 퇴사하기까지 걸리는 시간이 한국에서는 계속 짧아지고 있습니다. 슈리 프리따지께서는 직장 생활을 하게 된다면 아니다 싶으면 그만두는 게 낫다고 생각하시나요? 아니면 버티는 게 낫다고 생각하시는지 궁금합니다.
I think everybody needs some time to get a feel into things, to know the job, to know the people at work, to know what can flower in you in that environment. And all this takes time. Everything takes time. It takes 9 full months for the baby to grow in the womb. You can't think that we can get it done in 6 months. It doesn't work like that. It takes so many days for a seed to become a sapling. You can't change that. And that kind of time has to be given if learning has to happen in an environment. And you should not think that you're wasting your time being in that environment, but just know that it'll kind of help you grow as a human being, to know your potentiality, to know what works in that environment, to probably, suddenly a different aspect of yourself can grow in a particular environment or evolve in a particular environment, and to actually see whether you are fit in that environment or fit into that job is going to take longer than you expected. So I would say be patient, be tolerant, and give it more time. In terms of jumping from one job to another, it's probably become the culture, because everything in the world is very fast. Right from the food that we eat, it is fast food, but it's not going to be nurturing your body. Just like how fast food doesn't nurture your body, this constant jumping, not allowing enough time to take in a feel or get in. It's not about one day, right? What you see one day is going to be totally different from what you see the second day. You're going to give in some time before you make a decision, rather than just hopping from one thing to another, because constant hopping is not the way one should live life. If you look at internally, you're hopping from one situation to another, you're hopping from the past to the future. You're not giving time in the present moment to observe what is going. Internally you are like that, and externally that gets reflected. But please know that greatness arises when you're able to give in more time, when you're able to hold, when you're able to feel, and that will take a little time, and you need to be patient.
네 번째 질문입니다. 요즘 한국 사회에서는 남성 혐오, 여성 혐오가 심하고 서로 남성, 여성에 대한 폭력과 차별, 비하, 갈등이 난무합니다. 어떻게 이 갈등을 평화로운 방법으로 해결할 수 있을까요?
We definitely need to resolve this gender conflict in a peaceful way. It is like saying that the liver does not want to cooperate with the pancreas, or the pancreas does not want to cooperate with the heart. When there is conflict, when there is aversion, when there is constant competition or making the other smaller, it's away from oneness. And what is going to get in this situation between the liver and the pancreas and the heart, what is going to happen is going to destroy the body. Pretty similarly, this aversion, this competition, this hate against the different genders is going to destroy the society. If you think society is the whole, like the body. How could we ever we can never compare a man with a woman. It's like measuring a cloud and a lake. A cloud and a lake complements each other, right? The lake offers itself to the cloud, and in turn cloud offers itself to the lake. Unfortunately, measurement is become part of one's consciousness. If alone this measurement will disappear from one's consciousness, life itself would become very simpler. It will become a simple experience. This measurement of dividing and measurement of one being superior, other being inferior, it is the root cause of all division between human beings, between races, ethnicities, and even nations right now. That is why a spiritual journey is so very essential, Gina. Without the spiritual journey, it is like a collapse of a civilization, of a community, of a nation, of a race. That is what we are witnessing right now. The movement has to go away from separation towards oneness. It has to be a movement in consciousness. It has to be a movement of inclusivity and oneness. And that happens when you have a profound awakening in your consciousness.
감사합니다. 다섯 번째 질문입니다. 모태솔로입니다. 여자친구를 만나는 방법이 있을까요? 감사합니다.
See, many people move into that phase of not wanting a partner, not wanting to share one's life with another or be together with a other is so much rooted in their past. When I say past, it could be their childhood, it could be the early adulthood, it could be the past life flowing, it could be the experiences of ancestors. When I say past, it's just not, I'm not referring to just traumas and all that. It's so much more. So the question is it possible? Yes, it is possible. How was it possible? See, when a person awakens to love, when a person awakens to love towards oneself or love towards every human being on earth, you're allowing the consciousness to learn a new language. That's what we have seen again and again when people who have had troubled relationships or people who have just avoided or become indifferent to having relationships itself. These people have slowly shut their heart to the experience of love. During a spiritual process, especially one man, he was one of the, I can share innumerable number of stories, but this is something was very stark. So this man comes because he always feels, even if he has girlfriends, they just leave him because they're not happy with him. He's tried innumerable number of girlfriends, but he's never been successful at creating a nurturing relationship. So this man comes to a journey, and after the journey, in the spiritual process, what he had is a powerful awakening of the heart to an experience of love. So it is this man who has had a difficult, due to lack of time, this man has had a very difficult childhood. He has not experienced great nurturing, nourishing love from his parents for several reasons, and doesn't know what it is to love, doesn't know what it is to experience love. So this man in this spiritual journey has a powerful awakening of the heart and experiences a profound sense of love. It is not towards one human being. What he experienced was a profound sense of love to everything around him. That is, he was having an experience of love and compassion towards a frog, towards a blade of grass, towards the insects. It was not bothering him. It didn't feel like, somebody was trying to hurt him or he was not scared of it. But this, a throbbing love from his heart that he experienced towards other beings in the campus. And after that, he went back home. Today he's not that old man who's struggling to, keep up love and expectations from others or to meet expectations. It's not a struggle for him. He is naturally evolved into a person who's capable of love. See, please understand what love is. Love is just not the romantic highs, and love is just not pleasing the others or trying to show off to the world that you have a partner. Love means more, right? Love is actually, in a sense, where your heart and the other's heart is so very connected that you feel as one. That is love. And in order to experience that love, what stops you from experiencing that love is like all your suffering, all your stress, all your disconnection, your loneliness, your past. Everything is working through you and not allowing you to experience that profound experience of love, because human beings, as I said, are wired to experience love. That is very much needed for your body's health itself. Imagine, leave alone the other things, the emotional part and the consciousness part. Your body itself needs to experience that togetherness. That is when your cells are alive. That is when your body experiences huge immunity. That experience of love is so essential. And when you have a spiritual awakening and when you're liberated from the sorrow of your past, and then your consciousness is there to experience the larger oneness with the other, that is when true love is born. And it is possible for those who are struggling, can have this profound journey and allow one's heart to experience the togetherness. It is possible.
감사합니다. 네, 6번째 질문입니다. 최근 한국에선 한 사이비 종교의 교주가 많은 사람들의 돈과 시간을 빼앗고 성적으로 착취한 사건이 크게 보도된 적이 있습니다. 때문에 아직도 일부 한국 사람들은 명상에 대한 편견이 있고 명상과 사이비 종교를 구분짓는 능력이 없습니다. 명상의 본질은 무엇이며 명상과 사이비 종교의 차이점은 무엇일까요? 감사합니다.
Regarding pseudo people first, they are there in every field, not only spirituality, in religion, in politics, and in business. They are everywhere. They are there everywhere. There are also genuine and authentic people everywhere. And it's definitely very sad when trust gets broken, because it takes a lot of time to heal, and it takes a lot of courage to become trusting again. So that's regarding your pseudo people. Now coming to the difference between meditation and cult. They are wholly different. Meditation is a science, just that it is the world's most ancient art form and also a science. For example, if you take the soul sync meditation, that's available online, right? So what does soul sync meditation do? Let us look at the science aspect of soul sync meditation. The soul sync meditation pushes the brain waves from the noisy, chaotic beta brain wave state into a calming alpha brain wave state. And this meditation itself scientifically is known to activate the vagus nerve. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It makes you healthy. It causes greater well-being, and it also enhances the attention span. These are measured, these are proven. It's not a belief. It is a measurable fact. So that's why we call it a science. If you look at the serene mind practice, there's also a lot of science involved in it. It calms amygdala, the amygdala that's responsible for fear and anger, and it calms amygdala and activates the medial prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for awareness and connection. And being aware and being intelligent and experiencing connection, this practice, the serene mind, makes you a capable individual for a wise action. So in order to do these practices, serene mind or the soul sync, you could be a Christian, you could be a Buddhist, you could be an atheist. Whoever you are, these practices impact you the same way. So meditation, I would say, is both a science and also the world's oldest art. And it is an inward journey. It cannot be compared to a cult or a religion. Cult itself is built on a dogma. It is built on suppression of reason and inquiry. It detaches you from real life. Cult detaches you from real life, from your family, or even from your social responsibility. Between spirituality and religion is what you need to understand, Gina. Spirituality is probably the greatest adventure one is taking. And religion is holding on to a particular set of beliefs, codes, that is set for you by whichever religion that you are a part of. Spirituality is very different from a religion. It is not the same. Spirituality is a path that is there for your enlightenment. Not every spirituality is the same, but in general it has to lead you towards liberation and freedom, but not being tied up to one belief or tied up to one dogma or a particular set of code. That is not spirituality. And what we're teaching is spirituality. What we want is you to be experiencing greater joy, greater freedom, liberation from suffering, experiencing greater states of consciousness where every moment of life is blissful and it is joyful. And that is where we direct seekers from all over the world to get to. So it's just not comparable, unfortunately, for some reason, because not many people understand this clear distinction. It's kind of mixed up, and that is why there is fear. It's great that you're asking this question because it will take away misconception around spirituality for people.
자, 7번째 질문입니다. 마지막 질문입니다. 프리타지. 깨닫기 위해 사람들이 평소에 어떤 생활 습관을 가지면 좋겠습니까?
You could maintain any lifestyle and still walk the path of enlightenment. That is, you could live a busy lifestyle or an affluent lifestyle, it's fine. Or you could live a simple and an austere lifestyle, that is also fine. Just for you to understand the exact definition of what enlightenment is. Enlightenment simply means to rise into a state of consciousness where you live your life in a state of unperturbed calm regardless of your life situation. It is a state of fearlessness. It is a state of oneness. It is a state of compassion. It is a state from where very powerful actions are possible. It is a state from which you're not burdened by the past. Many times if you see, your actions are determined by your suffering. You act when you're in fear, you act when you're in anger, you act when you're in sadness. And at the level of energy, it kinds of create a huge vast disturbance in how life flows for you. And that is a very, it's a very unfortunate thing that is happening to people all around the world, especially when suffering is guiding their life. Enlightenment in the simplest and the oldest definition of it is to live a life of freedom, to live a life of liberation, liberated from suffering. And we don't usually advise that this is how your life should be, your lifestyle should be in order to be enlightened. We are actually wanting to create engaged, enlightened beings where you are an awakened parent, an enlightened partner, an enlightened business leader who's creating great wealth, an enlightened leader who's creating great harmony and peace in the world. That is our vision. It is not about letting go of one and then being totally detached from the world. That is when you become enlightened. No, it is not so. We want the vision that Sri Krishnaji and I have for every seeker is you would be an engaged, enlightened being who would create a great impact in the world because your state is so powerful. And actions born from such a state of liberation is incredibly powerful.
감사합니다. 네, 당신의 아름다운 가르침과 지혜에 대해서 정말 감사드립니다. 자, 사랑하고 존경하는 슈리 프리타지, 당신께서 한국에 8월 달에 후아 코스가 열린 그 이틀 뒤인 8월 15일은 한국의 광복절입니다. 독립을 기념하는 국경일입니다. 이 의미 있는 날을 즈음해 우리 한국이 제한된 분리의 상태에서 하나됨으로 가는 깨어남의 장이 열리게 되어서 정말 기쁩니다. 사랑하는 슈리 프리타지, 오늘의 만남에 정말 감사드리며 8월 후아 코스 때 당신을 기쁘게 다시 만나겠습니다. 아름다운 여정을 함께 하시는 모든 분들께 사랑과 감사를 드립니다. 감사합니다. 나마스테. I love you.
Thank you.
슈리 프리타지.
Love you too, Jean. I love you so much, and it'll be nice if you can continue to share your journey of awakening and liberation and how you moved away from a state of self-hate to this beautiful soul who is like so blossomed like a wonderful flower, emanating fragrance to the world. Blessings to all, blessings to you. And I'm very happy to be back in Korea. I mean, it's been a long time. I think the last time I was there, I think it must have been 2019, if I'm right. So I'm really looking forward to being in Korea again.
네. 저도 이번에 다시 만나뵙게 돼서 너무 기쁩니다.
And if people are able to be in FOA and participate in that 4-day long immersive journey towards awakening, everybody should know it probably is one of the greatest blessings that they are receiving for their lives.
이 축복의 여정을 함께 할 수 있어서 영광합니다. 감사합니다. 프리따지.
Love to you.
나마스테. I love you.
See you very soon.
한국에서 뵙겠습니다. 네.